Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is day three, and we are back to our portfolio business. So, yesterday we stopped at a very good place, and I think it's time for us to, you know, flesh out other parts of the landing page or on the home page, as everyone calls it. So, who's gonna build the cat? Uh, All right, so now we are looking at how to showcase work, right? So if we take a look at Jesus Christ, this feels like a lot that we've we've had to go through, and I'm low-key trying to figure out how not to waste this because I don't want to waste it. It feels like really good stuff that you can just throw in somewhere and interesting things would happen to it. So here you have a simple configuration, simple layouts. Just have selected works, and then you have your tiles one, two, three, four. It's really nice and comfy. Same configuration here. You have one, two, three. No, okay, so it's not tiles. It's pretty much just like full screen sections here. So you have that, 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 and that, and that, and that. I um, it is interesting because I had like two ideas. One was to do something similar to this. One was to do something similar to this. The other, okay, this is just like this is interesting. That's an idea. Simple configuration, simple configuration. This one is just also a straightforward, pretty straightforward stuff that I happen to like. So now we are at an interesting, we need to make some choices. Namely, how would this work? Like, how are we doing? Are we gonna do grids, or are we gonna do like full page or full view renders? Full page or full view renders. Um, Behold, grant unto me a second. So now we have to figure out how are we going to render these. So that I want to see selected work. I want to see body of work. Do I want to say like 36? I guess no, probably need it to be bigger, so maybe 48. Do I say body of work? Do I say selected work? Do I say definitely do not want to say case studies, because how I intend to have this done, I don't want this or any of this to feel like a case study. I want to do showcases. I will not be doing case studies. I hate the very idea of them. I hate writing for them. I hate reading them. So anything to not anything to not make a case study, I'm pro that. Okay, so how was it rendered here? I think they said the selected works. You can just put works, featured project. I like featured project actually. You could just say project showcase and just call it a day. You can have it pegged here. You can have it pegged there. So let's see how this looks in real time. No, 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 no. Here we are. All right. So, my plan for this, I need to use a tool called Above the Fold, because I need to have like a good gauge. It's desktop, yeah. Spot on the money. Spot on the money. Okay, so let me lock this, hide this. This is not supposed to be there, so I'll just take this out. But quite literally spot on the money. So I think we benefit from raising this a little higher, right? Then if this is the second screen, maybe around here should do just fine. Maybe around here should do just fine. No. I'll turn this off. So you get here, and then we have to make a decision. And what is that decision? The decision is, are we going to full screen this shit, or are we doing tiles? I am thinking, what would full screening look like? What would full screening look like? Let me draw. Let me just draw like a frame, right? Let's just keep that frame there for now. Make it look all nice and snazzy. And let me take one of my favorite projects. Actually, I'm not even sure which is what. Yeah, but okay. Well, it would be this one. It would be this project, Anacreon. Well, how did I get? Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so Anacreon, 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 Anacreon. Anacreon. So Anacreon feels like a lot of pressure for a project. No, that's not what I'm trying to communicate. What I'm trying to say is this full screen does feel like a lot. And you will always walk into that temptation of want to fill in, to fill it up with something, with anything, literally. So let me jump out this logo. Let me jump in this bad boy. There we go. Pound center. Just KU. There we go. And then where's our logo? Anacreon. Smack in the middle. Do I like this idea? No. Or would I take it if it was a tile? If it's a tile, if it's a tile, all right, let's try the tile idea. It's gonna be a little radical, but so the idea is to have, like, you have all of this. So the idea is to divide this into 3 columns, but instead of, oh no, don't do that. Instead of having them like side by side, my plan is to stagger them. All right, so obviously this is not going to be 3 on 3, so it's still not going to be 3 on 3. This might be 3 on 3, so let's just be sure. No, it's definitely not going to be 3 on 3. So for it to be 3 on 3, it needs to meet this specific criteria, right? Good. So now it's 3 on 3. However, what I want to do is I want to stagger it. Stagger it in the sense that it could end up pretty much just being like this when you scroll down, right? And I just wanted to, and yeah, it will end up being like this, and then it's gonna be parallax. It's gonna have like parallax scrolling. And the idea for this is to keep this as fluid and as dynamic as possible. But I am struggling just trying to think about it. Okay, let's figure it out. Let's think about it. We are smart people. We can do this. Allegedly, but we can. I'm pretty sure we can. Okay. Um. So if you're joining if you are joining us on this live stream, if you're on Twitter or X, you can use the comment section, or there's a live chat function that you can actually chat and ask me questions, and basically hang out, talk, shop as we work. If you are on YouTube, I think you can also use the chat function there, and we can connect. We can talk shop. Oh, this is well, no one's on YouTube, but the show carries on. Let's go. Uh, I think maybe if I tweet about it, then like come spend your Fridays with me. All right, 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 all right. How are we doing this? How are we playing this? Does anyone have opinions on whether we can go with the absolutely wild idea or we go with vanilla? I'm kind of leaning towards the wild idea, to be honest. We can push it, push it. All right, let's give this a shot. So we will probably take this text from here. We'll bring it here. Um, yeah, okay. And what are we gonna do? We could do the stereotypical thing and just say title. No, title or project. Like project, I guess. Project. Why is this in center aligned? Project, and we'll have like project name here. And we can just auto layout it. Yeah, just keep it simple. We can do yeah. Make it be yeah. Keep the yeah, but maybe like type. And we can just say maybe brand identity. Let's see how that looks. All right, maybe we could tighten this up. Mm, okay, so I am tempted to want to do this. It's a small temptation. Let's see how that works out for us. Will it work? All right. So, ooh, no. There we go. That's the stuff. So we'll just copy this. Copy properties. Select these other bad boys. Right click. Paste properties. Now I know there are shortcuts for this thing, but I am too old school to want to learn them, and I don't know why. All right, so we have all of this, and we can just, just duplicate them over here. Well, yeah, pretty much. So if we have like, say, 5 or 6 projects that we want to showcase, how would that work out for us at the end of the day? So if I auto-load this, auto-load this, auto-load this. Now the reason this works is because, remember earlier we created a, that's not right. There we go. So remember earlier we had this 3. Huh. That's not, oh, okay, that's actually wrong. So we will have to realign these so that they're correct. Yes. So this is valid. So we're essentially just gonna, wherever it is that we're going, maybe it might be Framer, might be Webflow, whatever, but treat these as 3 columns, right? And that's where, the good stuff is basically gonna happen. So if you treat these at 3 columns, as the user is scrolling, they encounter the content, and you know they're able to engage or interact with it. So that's the idea of it essentially. And I really hope I'm able to pull it off. Now on mobile, if there are mobile concerns, definitely they will just stack on top of each other, right? But this right now. Now I'm thinking, should we have tracks? So essentially, tracks are like these lines. So if you remember the prison lines I did yesterday, prison lines. I don't know where I kept them. I think I took them out. I took them out entirely. So this is probably as good a time as any for me to re-include, the prison lines. or the track lines or the guidelines. Guidelines. Okay. So if you can find those lines here, yep, found them. One is still, that can't be right. That cannot be right. Oh, okay. So I think, so that means I remove the lines then. That means I remove the lines. Okay. Well, that sounds appropriate to some bits. So let's draw new lines. So you have one line here. And we have our second line just around, no, just around here. So now that we have our lines, let's see. Yeah, the lines haven't shown up yet, and I think I suspect why. Because I did not draw them inside of this frame. So I'm just gonna cut it. I'm gonna select this frame. I'm gonna paste it. So now the lines should show. But now, haha, it looks funny. How, you may ask? Well, let's see what magic we can do by reducing the opacity of those line colors. Okay. But it just look funny, it's just standing in isolation. So this is the thing I didn't want to do, but I suspect I'll probably end up having to do it, but let's just see. So if we have this here, and this here, we could then duplicate one of these, raise it up, put it at 90, connect that, and connect that. Let's see what that does for us. Okay. So what if, I'm just spitballing here, but if we did this a little bit so that it has enough space between it has just about enough space. Okay, so let me reduce these a little bit more. These are 16, we can set 14 so that they're smaller, which is cool. We could reduce the thingy. between them from 18 to around 14. See what that does for us. Also cool. Keep it tight. Nice. Neat. What else can we do? I'm technically happy to have this, but again, this grid, this pseudo grid that we've created, I'm not sure I'm full on with it just yet. I'm not sure I'm full on with it just yet. Uh, Hold on, let me duplicate this out first. Try some really god awful ideas. So let's say we removed this top line, right? Let's say for argument these two touch. When we touch. Okay. Again, for the sake of argument, let's delete these for now. So we're bringing this out so that they touch each other, right? Okay, let's see what that does. Not a lot. It just means that we have things that are touching the edge. And I mean, it kind of doesn't align. It feels like if we rendered it like this, it has a bit of a disconnect from what we've done up top. So the question is, do we need lines? Do we need these lines? Yeah or nay? We could. All right, here's a bad idea I've been itching to implement. So we take this. I'm thinking maybe no. So I'm thinking maybe if okay, so I think instead of doing this, which will probably be more disruptive, I think a better way to do it would probably be to select the line in question. Select the line in question, go to color, go to that, and then just bring this here, bring this in the middle, bring this here, right? And then make this as black as possible so that it just, as a concept, it does just okay. So if we have this, we can duplicate this and then just send it back. We can duplicate this and just shift it this way so that it has a beginning and an end. Then I can just take this style. Oh, there now. Take this style, copy props, and you just right click and then paste properties. So let's see what that does for us. Ah, ah. Okay, that's an idea for me. Okay, so maybe we don't have it touch the lines. Maybe we don't have it touch the lines. So let's tidy up. Just happened now. Hold up. Why are there two of you, bro? Someone just lied. No, that don't make no sense. Okay, that makes absolute sense. All right, that's fine. You 16, 16. All right, that sounds legit. So, what else are we doing? So, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we can then push this another one of it lower. So let's just say we're probably gonna end up with like 6 case studies or 6 showcases. So something like this. Okay. Okay. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. All right. So usually I like to make, instead of 1, I like to use 0.7 as my stroke width. Now there is no reason whatsoever why that figure exists, or there is. It's just one. It's just a reason that doesn't make sense, or that wouldn't make sense to you. In the early days when Mandem was still using Photoshop for UI, the web was young and innocent, not the not the landscape of terror that it is these days. Uh, in order for us to have like divider lines, we would have to use figures that were less than 1. because one pixel looked horrendous. It looked like pencil. So in order for it to look crisp and sharp, we would reduce it to like point 0.8, point 0.7. Now, unfortunately, most browse HTML doesn't accept, does it? I think it did. But at the time, I'm not sure it accepted decimals. I'll probably have to check to confirm, but there was an issue with the decimal conversion. So even if we did like 0.6, 0.7, whoever it is that implemented always implemented that one until we had one guy who was so good. His name was Ernest. His name is Ernest. He's because he's still very much alive. Ernest OJ, and he, in my opinion, at that time was the greatest front end developer alive. This guy could implement one to one. Like we're talking hardcore one to one. Like it wasn't, there was no deviation. He gave you your design one to one, and it was always fun to work with. I think last I heard from him was like he was working in booking, and he had moved to Netherlands. Yeah, but pretty awesome guy. Oh yeah, I think he was the one who gave me my dribble invite. So he was the one who helped me on board to dribble. All right. So what do we have here? We have one, two, three, four, five, and six. We have this sorted out. What do we want to do beyond this point? So maybe this is a good time for us to introduce the character. That's me. But how would I do that? 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 Um, so let's stretch this a little further down. Um, so I think that I saw something. I saw something by someone down here. So it's like about callings. Hi, I'm this XYZ, yada 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 yada. Services. These are the things I do. Proven results. Well, I know I'm not going to do this, but somewhere around here, I might probably just end up doing the get in touch. But we oh, about Schofield. This is cool. All right, so he just skips this entirely. I just realized, what we have here. Did my screen just flicker? That's hardly good news. But like I was saying, I just realized something, right? We don't have a call to action. We just have links. So we have a logo here, we have navigation links here, but there's no call to action. There's no view my CV, there's no let's work, there's no there's no call to action. If I was going to be a call to action, where would I be? Where would the best place to put me? In this current configuration. All right, so let's stretch this a little bit this way. It could, so I need like a convincing the thing. So might be book me for work. This could be resume, and this could be ideas and thoughts. So we, so it doesn't have this symmetry about it. So instead of ideas and thoughts, maybe just call it thinkings. So if I put this book me, right, it does. If I left this as book me, just for the sake of conformity, if I left this as book me, I don't think it has the same level of impact unless I visually differentiate it. Let me see how this looks so far. It's not so bad. So let's just say hire me. Resume thinkings. So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3 contact. I think I'll come back to figure this out. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's actually pretty stable. All right, so progress is being made. So how do I want to play this part out now? I would say, okay, so let's just throw this out here. Let me see, meet Leslie. All right, cool. So we have that. So this is happening. All this is happening. I don't know. I still feel that these lines are probably just surplus. Like, we don't necessarily need the guidelines or the tracks unless we are doing something with them. What that something is, I don't know. Is this? Hmm. What if? As if I don't have enough bad ideas to plague me, but what if we have this? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Because we probably can't do that. So if I did this and I picked you and I did this, it would add up. It would make sense from a visual standpoint. But that's not my color. Blue is not my color. As much as I want to try to make it blue, blue is not my color. Surprisingly, gold is. See, it's the most conceited bastard out there. Yeah. So if I had this, I mean, okay, let's even just say we reduced the opacity of this a little bit. That'll be a problem. I'm thinking rendering this grid. Hmm. 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 I think at this point I'm just think at this point I'm just winging it. But let me come back to this. So this is clearly not an option that we're considering. So let's just discard it to the annals of history. Then we can take you, pull you out, and then rip the ever loving, you know, just remove everything. And poof, it's gone. But I don't know. Yeah, so if these guys were just here floating, it would look awful and weird. So let's have these removed. It's a little baffling. It doesn't look bad without the lines. And it also doesn't look so bad with the lines. So what do we do? 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 Well, we'll continue. All right, let's see. Do I need a photo of me? Right, let me get some copy from my old from an older web um, from my old portfolio actually. So programming design. Cool. Right. So let's see. We have. All right. So I was thinking something a little radical. So let's say we have this. We just put that out there, and that extends to God knows where. So because it's extending unnaturally, we will have to wheel it back in. So let's say 1920. This is a lot. And this is what I wanted to do. I also like a quick paragraph. Are you kidding me? I'm not supposed to play anything like this now. Oh, hold on. I thought I'm saying you're not supposed to play like this now. This is too much. Too damn much. Alright. So I want to keep this shorter. I want to keep this shorter, but oh my god, don't hang. This is not the time for this behavior. No, no. So let's say I took this. I'll just open ChatGPT again. Create a new chat, and then just say, all right. So shorten this for me. What does cross-functional teams mean? Because I feel like we write it a lot. Like, okay, so one word that outside of cross-functional that appears in almost everybody's CV is passionate. What does that mean? That I'm passionate about solving problems. No, brother, you're not. You're passionate about making money. um, I kind of wish I could like host more people and sort of just have like active discussions and banter as we design along. Because this is it's just quiet and I'm making like unfunny jokes at my own expense. Mm, okay, so which is punchy? Do we go for the short version? Creating web and mobile products, collaborating with product, blah 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 blah. Effective and simple, effective end-to-end solutions. Well, I kind of like rock with this. Kind of rock with this. So let's see. Let's hope it's not as lengthy. Well, it's not as. We can crank it up this way. And just have a hang here. Then maybe, what's the size on this bad boy? 210. I don't want to keep this at 210. Yeah, I did. I lied. But it's kind of unnecessary in my opinion. Like having it this big. If you are tuning in, again, as always, feel free to leave a comment, like, follow me if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel to help me grow to 100. Let's start from there. Okay, so obviously this is not where it's happening, but it's happening here. And oof, good boy, this is screaming. This is screaming at you, Mid Leslie. Hey, bro. Oh, okay. Let's tone this down a little teensy bit. So, if we divided this by two, what does that leave us? 105. Yeah, I can work with that. So I can just keep this here for now. Make Leslie, dim this to that. Yeah, because this isn't so bad, and I think I can like get creative with stuff around here. But this is cool. I like this. It's very modular. However, I could, if I wanted, no. No, 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 no. Also, I think this is it's a little too tight. So, oh boy. Yeah, okay. This is still too tight. Okay. Well, yeah. Can keep it at -4. This is fine. Um, I don't need to show. I don't need to do that services bit. My work, contact, hire me. Um, yeah, this is a lot of people don't understand how difficult footers are. Because now I have to design a footer, and I have no idea how I'm gonna do it. Footers are. I think the only thing that's harder than a footer is a dashboard. That's in my opinion. That's like the only thing that's harder than a footer. I do. I want to like list out like my services here. I don't know. I don't think I should. I really don't think I should, and I probably won't. But now we have to figure out how a footer is gonna be. Ah, if I wanted to make this unconventional, I could just drift it. So we could drift it this way. Yeah, just drift it. Yeah, just drift it so that it just feels off. Not off, but like make it feel a little dynamic in a way. My system seems to be slowing down. So let me just run like a quick diagnostics and see what's going on. I suspect it's one a specific browser that is causing this problem. Mm. Hmm. Okay, so we have all of you. We have all of you. How do we close this? How do we close this? You know what? I'm not even gonna think about it right now. I think there are other things that I kind of should concern myself with right now, and one of them is how two things actually, not just one thing. One of them is the logo animation, and the second is the mobile responsiveness for this page. Another thing that we also have to consider would be how the showcase pages are going to look like. Yeah, I think those are like other considerations that we need to keep in mind. But it is a Friday, and uh, I've been here for like an hour plus. Maybe we can do something a bit longer tomorrow. I'm actually a bit flustered, so maybe we'll just pick this up tomorrow. Or do I want to? Hmm. We could use Lottie Labs, or we could use Jita for the animation. Of the logo. Hmm. Which would be better, Lottie Labs or Jita? Lottie Labs has um actually what would be better with After Effects. It's gonna be a lot stressful, but it's what would be better. Mm-hmm. 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 Or Rive, I don't know how to use Rive. You know what? I'll do this thinking offline. Thank you guys for showing up. I know this is a lot shorter than what we are used to, but tomorrow I promise we'll make some good progress and hopefully draw a little closer to finishing this portfolio. Thank you for sticking with me. My name is Leslie. I am the lead designer at Overlay Studios, head principal at Overlay Academy, and I do these streams whenever I have the chance to share my ideas, to share my knowledge, and to help inspire people, and basically just like connect with other designers who are looking to to advance their careers. Thank you again for sticking with me, and I will see you all tomorrow. Good night.